Okay, honest question. Have you ever stood in line at Tim Hortons rehearsing one single sentence in your head again and again, trying not to forget it?
And then, when it finally became your turn, your mind just went blank?
Yes, the menu suddenly looked enormous. People behind you were moving fast. The cashier was smiling and speaking quickly, and you caught maybe 3 words.
You understood, hi, maybe, next, and then panic.
Exactly. And you just said, medium coffee, please, even though that wasn't even what you wanted.
Because it felt safer to end the conversation than to understand it.
And here's the important part. This isn't really about coffee.
No, it isn't.
It's about the first moment you realize you're not just learning English anymore. You're learning how a place works, how people interact, how fast they speak, how small conversations happen.
It's cultural fluency, not only language fluency.
Right, because before you even drink your coffee, your brain already asked a much deeper question. Do I belong here?
That's a powerful moment. A very quiet one, but powerful.
And many newcomers think the problem is vocabulary. They think, I need more words, I need better pronunciation, I need more grammar.
But often, they already knew enough English.
Yes, the real difficulty wasn't the language, it was uncertainty. The speed, the rhythm, the expectations, the fear of holding a line, the fear of the person behind you waiting.
And Tim Hortons is actually a perfect example because it's one of the first real social spaces people enter alone.
You're not with a teacher, not with a friend, not translating in your head before speaking. It's just you and a real interaction happening in real time.
And your brain feels pressure.
A lot of pressure, because suddenly English learning is no longer theoretical, it's practical. You're not repeating sentences from an app, you're responding to a human being who expects a natural answer.
And your confidence becomes more important than your vocabulary.
Yes, because even if you know the words, anxiety blocks them. Your mind starts racing. Did I hear that right? What did they ask? What do I say now?
Meanwhile, the cashier is still kind, still patient, but the speed feels intimidating.
And here's something interesting. The cashier is not rushing you.
But your brain thinks they are.
Exactly. Canadians speak efficiently, quickly, not aggressively.
But when you're learning English, your mind interprets speed as judgment. You feel evaluated, even though nobody is evaluating you.
And after that moment, many people walk away thinking, my English is terrible, when actually they just experienced their first real-life listening challenge.
Yes, a real conversation has pauses, noise, accents, and unpredictability. It's very different from subtitles and slow audio lessons.
And that's why this episode matters, because today we're not just going to teach phrases.
We're going to slow that moment down. We're going to walk into Tim Hortons together, step by step, so next time you stand in that line, your brain won't panic.
Instead, it will recognize the situation.
And when your mind recognizes a situation, confidence appears. Not perfect English.
Just enough calm to respond.
And that changes everything.
So let's start with the first thing you always hear, the sentence that begins almost every interaction there, and why it's actually easier than it sounds.
It also tells us what situations you want us to practice next.
And if you want a calm place to practice English listening, not a stressful classroom feeling, not fast lessons, but real conversations you can relax with, you can subscribe to the Lantern English podcast.
We're here to build fluency and confidence at the same time.
No rush, no pressure, just progress, one conversation at a time.
All right, now let's step up to the counter.
Because the very first sentence you hear there sounds fast, but once you understand it, half of your anxiety disappears. Okay, imagine this. It's cold outside, not just a little cold, real Canadian morning cold. Your breath turns into smoke, your hands are inside your pockets, and you finally open the door of a Tim Hortons.
And immediately,
everything changes.
Yes, warm air hits your face. You smell coffee, toasted bread, sugar, and then your brain stops noticing the smell because something else happens.
The line.
The line. People already waiting, moving fast, no one hesitating, no one looking confused. Everyone seems to know exactly what they're doing.
And suddenly, your English learning becomes real life.
Exactly, because studying English at home feels safe. Podcasts feel safe, subtitles feel safe, but now someone will talk to you.
And not slowly.
No, not teacher English, not YouTube English. Real English, fast English, routine English.
And this is where many learners feel the pressure.
Because your brain starts racing. What if I don't understand? What if they ask something I don't know? What if I freeze?
But here's something important.
The employee behind the counter is not expecting a conversation.
This is the first relief.
Yes, ordering at Tim Hortons is not social English, it's pattern English.
Meaning the interaction follows a script.
Always, almost identical every time. And once you know the script, your confidence changes immediately.
Because you're not improvising anymore, you're recognizing.
Exactly. You don't need perfect fluency. You need recognition. Your brain isn't trying to build sentences, it's matching sounds to meaning.
So let's slow the moment down. You're standing in line. You're next.
Your heart beats faster. You look at the menu board, but you can't read anything because your mind is busy thinking about speaking.
Very common. Then the person in front of you leaves and the employee looks at you and says, "Hi there."
And this is important. This is not a real greeting. It's a signal.
It means, your turn. Start your order.
They are not asking how you are. They are not expecting a story. You don't need a sentence.
You don't need, "Hello, I would like to order a coffee, please."
Too long. And that's why learners panic. They think they must build a perfect sentence.
But in Canada, especially in fast places like Tim Hortons, communication is efficient.
You can literally start with 2 words.
Just the item.
Medium coffee.
And you already succeeded.
This is the first mindset shift. Fluency is not about complex grammar. It's about participating in real interactions.
And this is the first real victory for many newcomers.
Because at that moment, English stops being a subject and becomes a tool.
And once the first words leave your mouth, something interesting happens.
Your fear drops, but your brain is still listening carefully, waiting for the next thing the employee will say.
Right after you say medium coffee, there's a very specific moment.
Yes, the employee immediately replies.
Double.
And this is where many English learners freeze.
Because you understood the words coffee, but suddenly you hear something that doesn't exist in textbooks.
Exactly. Nobody studies double in English class.
But in Canada, this is almost cultural vocabulary.
So let's decode it calmly. A double means 2 creams plus 2 sugars in your coffee.
And here's something important. The employee is actually helping you.
Yes, they are not testing your English. They are predicting your order.
Because many Canadians order coffee that way.
So you have 3 easy answers. Very simple.
If you want it, say, "Yes, please."
If you want black coffee, say black.
If you want something different, you just say the numbers.
For example, 1 cream, 1 sugar. Or 2 cream, no sugar.
Notice something. You don't need full sentences.
You're not required to say, "I would like 1 cream and 1 sugar in my coffee, please."
Too long. And in real Canadian daily English, nobody talks like that at a coffee counter.
This is functional English.
Short, clear, predictable.
And once you understand that, your listening improves immediately.
Because now your brain isn't translating word by word anymore. You're recognizing patterns.
Now, here's something important. Many newcomers actually don't want coffee.
They want something sweet, warm, comforting.
The famous French vanilla.
And this confuses a lot of learners.
Because they think it's coffee.
But it's not. French vanilla at Tim Hortons is a sweet, creamy, hot drink. No need to choose cream or sugar. It already comes prepared.
So instead of saying coffee, you simply say, "Medium French vanilla, please."
And here's the good news. If you order French vanilla,
They won't ask double.
no follow-up questions, no customization stress.
This is actually one of the easiest first orders for a new English learner in Canada.
Because you only say 3 words and you're done.
And psychologically, that matters a lot.
Why?
Because your brain experiences a complete, real-world conversation in English, successfully,
You walk in nervous.
and walk out holding a drink you ordered yourself.
That moment builds confidence faster than memorizing vocabulary.
Exactly. It tells your brain, I can live in English.
Then comes the next question the employee asks.
Gently. Anything else?
This one scares people too.
But it simply means, do you want more items?
If no, that's it, or no thanks.
If yes, just say the item. Boston cream donut. Bagel with butter. Hash brown.
You're not giving a speech.
You're building an order.
And something interesting happens inside your mind here.
Your confidence rises before your fluency does.
Because now you're not only listening to English,
You're participating in daily Canadian life.
but then comes another moment learners don't expect.
When they say the total price and they say it fast.
Right, this is the moment many learners panic.
Yes, everything was going well. You ordered, you understood, and then,
$4.87.
and your brain goes, wait, what?
Because Canadians almost never say prices slowly. They connect the numbers.
You studied numbers in English. You know 4, you know 80, you know 7.
But hearing them naturally in real speech is very different from hearing them in a lesson.
So let's decode what you'll actually hear. When the total is $4.87, the cashier usually says $4.87.
They don't say $4.87. That's correct English, but not daily English.
Another example, $3.50, $3.50, $2.10, $2.10, $5, 5 even sometimes.
Your brain struggles not because your English is bad.
It struggles because this is connected speech, real rhythm.
And you also have pressure.
There's a line behind you, people waiting, the machine beeping, the smell of coffee, the cashier already holding the cup.
So your listening confidence drops for a second.
Here's the important thing. You are allowed to ask again. You can calmly say, sorry?
Or even better, sorry, how much was it?
This is normal. Canadians say this too. You are not exposing your English level. You are participating in conversation.
And the cashier will simply repeat the price.
Slower.
Kinder than your brain imagined.
Now comes the payment part. And this surprises many newcomers. In Canada, most people don't use cash.
They tap their card.
You will see a small machine move toward you. The cashier doesn't explain. They just place it in front of you.
No instructions.
Because culturally, the action is understood. You simply take your debit or credit card and tap.
No PIN needed for small purchases.
And you don't need to say anything while tapping.
Silence here is normal.
After the payment, you'll hear a phrase that becomes very familiar in Canada.
You're all set.
This does not mean go sit down yet. It means payment completed successfully.
You might also hear, perfect. Got it. Thank you.
And here's a very small but important social detail. You respond with, thank you.
Not long, not formal, just natural.
Because at this point, something psychological changes.
You realize you just handled money, listening, and conversation in English in real life.
And your confidence increases more than after hours of studying grammar.
But you're not done yet.
Because now comes a moment that confuses almost every newcomer.
You paid, but you still don't have your drink.
Exactly. And you start wondering, did they forget me? Do I wait here? Do I go somewhere else?
This part is pure Canadian coffee shop culture.
Okay, so you paid, the machine beeped, you said thank you, and now you're holding nothing.
Yes, this is where many newcomers freeze.
Because in many countries, when you pay, they immediately give you the drink.
At Tim Hortons, not always.
Instead, the cashier turns around, starts doing something else, and you think, did I do something wrong?
You didn't. What actually happened is simple. You just moved to the next stage of the system.
Tim Hortons works in 2 places, the order counter, where you spoke, and the pickup counter, where your drink appears. And they are often the same long counter, but different positions.
After paying, you take 1 or 2 steps to the side. You don't leave the store. You don't stand in the line again. You simply wait near the end of the counter.
And then you'll hear something important, not your name.
This surprises many people. They don't usually call names like Starbucks.
Instead, they call the drink. You might hear medium double-double.
Or large black coffee, French vanilla. Medium latte.
This is your signal. They are not talking to someone else. They're talking to whoever ordered that drink.
So you walk calmly to the counter, make eye contact, and take the cup.
No speech required, but you can say, "Thank you."
And you'll often hear, "Have a good one."
This is a very Canadian goodbye. It means, "Have a nice day." You don't need to answer with a sentence. You can simply say, "You too."
Short, natural, perfect.
Now, here's a very important emotional detail. The moment you take that cup, something shifts inside you.
Because this was not a classroom conversation.
You understood real speech, real speed, real people in a real place.
You navigated uncertainty.
You stayed calm even when you didn't understand everything.
And that is actually what fluency begins to feel like.
Not perfect sentences, but successful interaction.
You didn't need advanced grammar.
You needed courage, listening, and a simple script.
And now you're standing there, holding a warm cup in a cold country.
And your brain realizes something quietly. I can function here.
And that realization is powerful, because language stops being theory.
And becomes life.
But what you might not notice yet is why this moment matters so much emotionally.
Because this wasn't really about coffee.
So, you have the cup in your hands now.
Yeah, and on the outside, it looks like nothing happened. You ordered a drink, you paid, you picked it up.
5 minutes.
But internally, it was much bigger, because for many English learners, daily life is divided into two worlds, the world where you understand and the world where you must act.
Listening to a video is safe.
Ordering in real life is exposure.
You cannot pause the cashier.
You cannot rewind a sentence,
And nobody adjusts the speed for you.
which means your brain has to trust itself, even imperfectly. And that's why this moment matters. You didn't just understand English, you participated in English.
And participation changes identity.
Exactly. Because until then, you feel like a visitor in the language. After that moment, you feel a little less like a visitor in the country.
You stopped depending on someone translating for you.
You didn't need a friend beside you. You didn't need to rehearse 10 times. You handled uncertainty and stayed present.
And confidence grows from successful uncertainty, not from perfect preparation.
That's the important shift. People think confidence comes before action, but confidence actually comes after surviving the action.
You survived not understanding everything.
You survived the fast speech.
You survived the small panic. And nothing bad happened.
The cashier didn't judge you. The people behind you didn't analyze you. The world didn't stop.
Your brain created a fear, but reality gave a different answer.
And now something new appears. Not fluency yet, but belonging. Because small independent actions create emotional roots.
You start recognizing places.
You start recognizing phrases.
You stop translating every word.
And one day you notice something surprising. You walk into Tim Hortons, and you don't rehearse anymore. You just speak.
That's when language becomes part of your life instead of a task.
And maybe the real milestone in learning English isn't a certificate. It's the day you casually say, "Hi, can I get a medium French vanilla, please?" Without anxiety, without mental preparation.
Because at that moment, the language stopped being foreign.
It became functional.
And functional language is what creates comfort in a new country.
So if you've been avoiding situations like this, maybe it's not because your English is weak. Maybe it's because your brain is protecting you from uncertainty.
But growth lives inside those ordinary moments.
Not big speeches, not perfect grammar, just small, real interactions. And ordering coffee is one of the safest places to start. Before we finish, we want to ask you something simple. In the comments, write, "I will try this week." It doesn't need to be Tim Hortons specifically. Maybe a bakery, maybe a small cafe, maybe asking for a napkin in English.
Just one small, real interaction.
And if this episode made you feel a little more capable, a little less nervous, press the like button, so this video can reach other learners who are quietly struggling with the same fear.
And if you want a calm place to practice English listening, not fast, not stressful, not overwhelming, subscribe to the Lantern English podcast.
We're here to help you build fluency step by step in real-life situations.
And on your screen right now, you'll see the next episode waiting for you.
In that conversation, we'll talk about small talk in Canada. What to say when someone casually asks, "How's your day going?"
Because that question confuses almost everyone at first.
So don't stop here. Press play and continue with us.
You're not just learning English anymore.
You're starting to live in it.